folks. Just kind of getting set up over here and spent the weekend messing around with the M8 P6 and OPXY a bit. Not really using some of the devices to their maximum capacity or capability, but just, man, the lighting here is a little goofy. I'll have to figure that out later. I guess I got this microphone shade in my face. Let's see. We'll get zoomed in a little bit here. See what we can do. That's not too bad. Get the case of goodies out of the way. I think I got everything going. And yeah, so while I'm kind of powering stuff up here, I mean, you can do tons of amazing stuff on the M8, but what I've been kind of messing around with is just using it as a expensive sample player and chopper right now, or at least potentially be able to either do chopping and then get it like effects through the P6 and then into the OPXY here. Still trying to move stuff here. So by doing that, I don't even know what the heck I was working on over here. Let's, okay, ridiculously quiet. Need to fix that. Volume. We go down. By default, the M8 won't let you go full volume, so you don't actually blow your ears out. Get some more gain. Yeah, I was, I don't know, I was doing some chopping experiments and then started just adding in bass and stuff. Excuse me. Just with the M8 last night. Man, I'm going to lose my voice. I think I need to grab some water here. What the heck? I'll just let that play. I'll be right back. All right, got that, and let's go check a couple other things here. All right, so, did my camera move? Maybe. Might be a little better to adjust stuff up here in case it's slowly sinking down. All right. Actually, it looks like I guess it's not the zoom out. We'll get this. Here, now we got like plenty of zoom. All right. So yeah, I've been using the M8 because I can put up to, I got a 512 gig card in here, so plenty of space for sample, one-shots, loops, whatever samples I want on it. And I don't know, I enjoy chopping on it. It's pretty quick and you can get the job done. The ability to also chop on the P6 after you sample is pretty handy. Or you can just use it as an effects box. I think it functions as either quite well. And then been kind of landing samples into the X8 and just using this as a way to make drum kits. Got a couple problems with the drum kits that maybe some other folks have some suggestions for, but I'm just gonna, while I'm here, I'm just gonna kind of go through kind of what I've been doing as a workflow over the weekend, kind of getting used to and seeing how it does or does not work. So, with that said, first, I'm just going to go save this in case I want to come back to it later. Everything Phantom Fun. Save. All right. We will then go new. I'll just make a dummy track here. I'm not going to actually go populate everything just because that wasn't part of the process that I was doing. So just get a sampler queued up and ready to go. Maybe these shorter cables aren't great for this. I might need to swap them out so I can kind of pick stuff up and move it around if I need to. I wonder if it would be handy if I had a little angled stand. Maybe something I'll make when I feel like doing some woodworking. All right. So besides that, I know I've talked before. I've been taking banks E, F, G, and H and kind of slowly just loading in drum kits here. And just to kind of build stuff up to have like some banks of things I can come to for the P-6 really quick. And yeah, what was I working on? Yeah, I think this is the last one I was working on last night. Got like 2. And it comes out with a pretty good signal at maximum, the maxed out here. I have not particularly liked you end up getting a lot of line noise if you increase the volume here. So if you increase the gain on the line in, it creates a lot of line noise. So what I've been doing is just something I sometimes will do on the SP404 Mark II, which is just turning the isolator on and just maxing out the low, mid, high. And you get a much louder output to the extent that like you sometimes, if the gain, like you can hear on this kick, it's definitely got some distortion on it because it's just too much gain. If you back it down, it's not so bad. So I think it's the line in is getting distorted here, not the line out that's getting that distortion. And the reason I'm saying that is as soon as I back it down, you're not hearing the distortion. Whereas maxed out, it's there. So anyway, we get the nice meter here. You can get a sense for how close to the line. Kind of gives you a sense for how close you are to 0 dB, and then it has room to go over, so you can kind of do some more distortion. But doing this, at least I'm getting by playing samples on the M8, recording them into effectively a drum kit, the P6 will go through and normalize everything, so it tries to get itself to a maximum volume, which means if you've got kick, snare, hats, it's not going to make them all super loud. It's just going to max out usually on whatever your loudest sound is, which will be probably your kick. With that done, then it's going to be pretty loud coming into here. And as I said, sometimes I'll put the isolator on, or the vinyl if you want to get more of a compressed sound. But then you're going to be adjusting the volume potentially down on the XY. But you can usually get this closer to maximum volume, since the 12 dB boost from the isolator is pretty aggressive. Anyway, what else? I have found if you're going to do something like vinyl or the cassette simulator, which is introducing noise, there's like the isolator as well, because it's boosting the signal coming from the M8. When you record in over here, it's just always going, you might not even be able to see the signal here, but it will make it harder for the OPXY to find the start point. So you'll want to, it'll force you to go through and have to adjust your start point for all your samples. So again, let's go through some of this. Let's say I want, what do I want here? We'll go, maybe vinyl might be fun. Did I just turn it off? Yeah, let's just go like super dirty here. We'll load. Let's go. We'll go kits. No, I got the medieval stuff on here apparently for the EP. What is it? 133. Breaks. Let's see what we got for dubstep. If there's anything I can play. Some of these directories I need to shorten the names. Top drum loops. Do we have one shots? Drum hits. So we got kick, snare, and hats. So that's pretty abused. So, you know, we can kind of beef it up a little bit or kind of change the sound just really quick in the P-6. As I said, I could scroll through. So if we want to get a new drum kit, do I have anything in here? Or should I start a new one? We'll rename this. Call it name 9. It doesn't matter. All right, we'll save it. We'll go new. And I know like this stuff is a little fiddly, and I do hope that we get some better things in the updates in the OPXY to manage some of these things. But come in. We'll go to track 1, shift 1. I'm just going to move off of it to go E piano, then shift 1 again. I'm going to come back to drums. The reason I'm doing this is we now have an empty drum kit. There's no sounds on the 24 pads here, which will mean that it's just easy. I don't have to like listen to as I kind of move through like something trigger and then be like, is that something I want or not? Like we're just going to have it. Now, if you got headphones, you might hear, I just cranked up the mixer all the way. You might hear there's like that vinyl noise that's just baked into the effect here. As I said, this is where when I start recording, if I hold this down, it's actually going to record that noise in the front. So I'll have to just know to go chop it. But if I want to go get like some of these kicks, that one's fine. Just really hold it, tap it. You can see we now have the kick here. It's in the middle of the sample, so I'm going to have to come back and fix that. That was kind of fun. We'll do that. I'm not going to do a ton of these. So, got some work to do afterwards. I'm going to exit out here. Let's go snares. Some snares and claps and stuff. Like, I don't know if I'll just turn it off. Okay. Let's go filter. Get the resonance down a bit. Not too much gain. So let's say I like this one. It's all right. Like this one, because I don't have that noise from the vinyl or cassette, it's not recording all that noise in the front. So this one should actually be pretty well lined up. Just like a super muffled clap. So get that. So gotta go fix these kicks, obviously. And we'll just adjust the start point. Unfortunately, we can't trim or crop. So you're just stuck with having that extra sample time in front for now. Like that is maybe a little too loud. Kick that down. I don't know. It sounds kind of like I'm making drum and bass drums here. Let's go for some hats. Let's start with closed. Get a couple. Gotta queue up the record. This time, let's go back to vinyl. I don't know. Nothing's speaking to me quite yet. Let's try cassette. Like something right, maybe right around there. And actually, kind of like that, almost like a glitchy sound. And let's see what we got for open, if there's anything. That one's fun. And it does seem like it does some a little bit of normalization or something as you record things in. Because like that's substantially louder, so just keep in mind that you may need to adjust the volume down. If we want to get nuts and sounding really glitchy, I've been using scatter. Just put it to like whatever BPM you want in here, if you care. But this is where I also wish we had skip back somewhere in here, like you can get on the SP404 Mark II, because sometimes you just like hit it and you're like, eh. You're like, then that one sounded kind of cool. So you kind of just gotta keep going and then be like, oh, okay. Let's change up the pattern. So again, not going to go fill out a full drum kit here, but I mean, just like doing this, kind of playing around, you can kind of kit together pretty well. So hopefully that's kind of loud. Let's pick a BPM. Let's go around 92 or something. That one I might want there. Actually, I think it sounded better coming in just a little bit early. All right, let's get metronome off now. So for this one, I think I'm just adjusting the play mode. So it's a gate. So that way I can get a little bit more expression out of this. So I don't want it to play the whole time necessarily. Now, the other thing I want to do, I think, is I still want this kit that I'm working on, but I want to use it on the second track. So if you just hold down 1, you can go copy and go to the second one, hold down, paste. So I've got the exact same, what I just have in 1, as long as I kind of keep copying it over, what I've been finding is if I want to add in more drum hits, just do it in 1, just keep sampling, and then just copy that track 1 into track 2. So I can do... Now I can just like start adding in some other patterns and kind of mess with it, whether if I want to do step components or other things. I maybe want get the panning effect on the hats there. All right, let's go find another sample. So we get for like a bass or something. All right, I'm going to switch this over. So Shift 1, I just want to switch it to a sampler this time. I could do drums, but we'll do a sampler first. We'll go see what we can find for the bass sound. Probably don't want scatter on. Maybe. It's okay to be like, I don't like any of these. That one's apparently named too long. I kind of dig that. So it says this is a D sharp. Let's see if we want to add... Is there any effects we want? Let's try... I'm going to try filter first. And there is also something to be said for not using the filter on the P-6 and just recording it in here and using the filter here. But I kind of want that resonance sound. You can drive it pretty good too. All right, let's just give this a try. Press the key. It says this is D sharp, so D sharp. So that gets us the sound. We've got the it just randomly not randomly, but it just drops the 2 looping points, which we can fix. So we've got a pretty extreme filter on it. Let's turn that off. Let's go back. I don't know if I want to try and loop this or not. Maybe there and there. Looks so different. I don't have them synced right now, so I'm just using the M8 as a sound source just to grab samples off of right now. It's not too hard to sync them up. I mean, they're all they all have the same TRS format, so you just plug the TRS from one into the other one. I have done that. I've got plenty more cables, but for what I'm doing right now, like I'm not super worried about it, so just kind of left it as is. Kind of loud. I don't even know if I like this or not, actually. It's not holding up, pitching it down very well. All right, I'm gonna give up on this right now, and we're gonna go a different direction. So, as I said, there's a couple different ways I've been getting chops into the OPXY, and let's see if we get a bass loop that maybe we actually, I don't know, I think all this stuff's gonna be too hard. Yeah, let's get out of here. Let's go find something else. Maybe jazz is too out there, but let's get that filter off. Yeah, I don't think I want to go for any of these. Let's see what I have in here for like hip hop speed things. E-bass. All right, let's so if it says it's in E, we can chop it up. All right, we're just going to load it. We'll go into the editor. Let's see, we're going to go, I'm just going to take a guess. Because I don't think auto is going to help us. No. 16 is not enough. 32 may get us there. Enough for some of the notes. So basically what I found, like if you want, like you can just chop in here, and if you just record one note at a time over here, we'll get it in. I don't know if we want to tone it any. I do feel like putting this cassette noise on will be a bad idea. Only because then I'm going to go crop every single, not crop, but change the start point for every single one. Try final, turn off the noise. just go louder, fuller, full bodied. All right, we'll just go. I'm going to use the isolator. Everything's set to 12 dB gain just to really punch it up. All right, we're going to exit out. We'll go Shift 1, and then we'll go to the drums to get an empty drum kit. Come into record. And basically what I'm going to do is just play each slice through the P-6 just to get the isolator so it's louder, and then record it one step at a time. We've only got 24 steps here, and this has 32. So if there's something that we don't like for a step, we could just skip it and then record something else in. But with that said, I don't know why, maybe the isolator is picking up some line noise. So I guess I'm going to have to go do this anyway. Bummer, but we'll get through it. We'll go there. Yeah, we're just going to have to do it. Hopefully the OPXY will... I don't like that. I don't want that. We don't need that. Yeah, we'll get an envelope on all these too. All right. And if this looks fiddly, it kind of is, but I haven't found a more consistent way to do this yet. Care less about that one. We'll do that one here. Record, play. Yeah, so I'm not totally sure why it has so much white space, because I'm hitting the play button, the record and play like closer than I would think that would be, but it's possible that I just need to even get shorter to make it so it's not quite so long. I guess we're good. So we've now got all these notes in here, and we can definitely hear it's picking up some of that noise for sure, but again, we'll just go through and tighten it up. Oh, didn't record anything there. Let's just get something random in there then, just to have it. Whoops, wrong button. Let's go back. Oh, it's also, I think I gotta get out. It's pitching it down. There we go. So we'll come back. Oh, had that one. So hopefully we will get a real chopper or something like the OP1 Field OPZ, where you just record in and just the one file and it just auto sets points that you can adjust from there. We don't have that right now. I found it's just faster to do one parameter at a time versus trying to fix the whole thing, because we're going to have a couple other things we need to do here. All right, these are all empty. Cool. So we get this first. I could go through, and there is an argument to go take the endpoint out, because we can hear a lot of line noise, and just getting rid of that will help. And we only have 24 notes of polyphony, so kind of cleaning this up helps get some polyphony back. Like getting rid of also that like little bit at the end might be worth it. It's kind of like a little bit of noise. Getting there. All right. Last one is I gotta change the play style from like start to end, like a one shot. I want this to be a gate on or note on, note off. So if I tap it, it just plays like a little bit. So I'm gonna go do that for all of these. All right. So now we can get like those, choose if we want the double notes or not. Next up, I'm gonna have to go adjust the envelope just a tiny bit. Trying to get rid of those pops. And we'll do the same. I want to edit the filter. There we go. And because they all share the same filter, it's worth going through and listening. How bad it is on all of them. Like some of these just pop. I might have to adjust the start point. Looks like 3 and 7 need a little bit of love here. Let's zoom in and see what we can see. Like, see, just like sliding that in a little bit, clean that way up. Because I think what was happening is I just wasn't close enough to the start, so there's a lot of white, like silence here effectively, and it was getting that the envelope is so tight that it wasn't catching the start of the audio and kind of smoothing it out. It was just kind of, it was doing it where it was more silent, and then it was hitting that pop. So another one. See, yeah, gotta tighten that up. Another one. This is all the important stuff to do if you want to get rid of the pops. All right, now I can hear like some background noise, like line noise, like the noise floor came up. So I'm going to try to see if we can filter it out a bit. Good morning, man. How you doing? Bait and Sopo. All right, so that seems to be pretty decent. As I said, I know it's a lot of work, but I haven't found a better way right now. The other problem is that even though we can come in and go, oops, wrong one, wrong page. If we go shift here, you can see it's in mono right now, but I can play multiple notes. So it's like the note itself, I think it's saying it's mono. Like you can't stack double tapping and playing it. I also know I can't do it because I've got the note on mode now. But I haven't, like, I don't, long term, the drum kit maybe isn't the right way to do it. I might need to learn how to use the multi-sampler and see if that with mono works better to kind of do kits this way. Anyway, I mean, we can try and record something now. So that's one way I've been kind of messing around with chops. We didn't do any pitch shifting. If I exit out of here, we don't need to see any changes. I think this was a E. Let's go back. I want to see what the file name was. 90D bass E. Oh, so they must have the E is not that. This is in the scale of D. I'm gonna assume major because it's not saying anything else. So let's go over. I didn't pitch it, so we're probably gonna want to be E major if I want to try and play along to it. Trying to just get my bearings on what all the notes are that I can play here. All right. That's kind of maybe I'm not into that. Let's go flip over here. Track 2. We'll clear it. E. Okay. Maybe we just need a different sound here. Let's see what else we got. Let's throw... Not that. Undo that. Record shift in this. Alright, that's not also what I wanted. Doing it wrong. Alright. Get rid of that. I want that just on... to start on the 1. Hey, Kyle. Yeah, I spent the weekend kind of messing around with the M8, the P-6, and the XY to kind of see where I could get things going. What kind of was working for me, what wasn't. Excuse me. Mostly to just figure out how to get chops better into the OPXY, because it's not the easiest way to get it in there. Let's see what we've got besides bass in here. I assume these are all in the same key. Bass, drums, bass, conga, cowbell. That's it. We don't have any melody or anything to chop up. Guess not. Some piano. I could pitch it up, but I'm trying to be lazy and not do that. This is all in D, so maybe. Let's see what we got. Like some organ. Kind of like the C. I'm going to load this. Let's go edit it. And I'm going to just do, let's just chop it to 16 and see how well it does. All right, so it's really, we're getting 4 notes there. I don't know, do I mind? Might not mind. It's fine. Actually, maybe this is playing like 3/4 time. All right, so what we're gonna do is go back to 5. We're gonna go to 5. This is empty. I'm gonna go do the same thing we just did, and yeah, man. I figure I've got some time early in the morning, usually before meetings get kicked off for work. So trying to squeeze in some stuff. But how you doing, man? All right. Let's go through here. Let's do cassette. This is going to make it kind of annoying to kind of deal with in some ways, because we're going to get the line noise and everything. And I'm just going to have to do the start point, but it's kind of the way it is. Just trying to pick a point I like. All right, we'll do this. So back to, we're only going to do 16 this time. I'm going to, again, this is super fiddly, but it gets the job done. Move over to the next one. Move over to the next one. I'm going to do it here too. We're going to record the same thing. We'll go next one, record. Next. I mean, a lot of these kind of sound like they're the same riff, but that's fine. Got nothing there. Okay. We're halfway done. Like, this isn't terrible. It's just, as I said, it's a little fiddly. Well, welcome then, and hopefully I don't ruin your breakfast. Okay, we're good there. Sounds like we got reverb on this already, which is fine. Record, play. Next. 3 more. We can do this. All right, now for the fiddliness, we're going to go back. Every single one of these, I got to adjust the start point. We'll get close first. I'm not gonna sweat if it's perfect yet. All right, that gets the start point for all these figured out. Next, let's just go through and change play style. Just changing it from one shot basically to a note on play style. This one's kind of weird. I don't get... It might just be the reverb. Let's take the reverb. Yeah, this one. I'm going to guess that it's... Alright. None of these are going to delay. It's just very clicky at the start. Just turn it down a little. Like I like the delay and reverb on it, but... We need a little bit of envelope, I think, here. All right, let's just kind of jam with it. We'll see how it goes. Let's mute this. I don't know that we want that or not. copying this over. I kind of liked it there, I think. I don't think you can hear these notes very well, so what's this? This is this one? I think they're just too low. Let's switch it over. So, if you're curious, the way that I've found that you have to do this on the OPXY is if you're bringing loops in and over, basically what you have to do is load the loop in to every single slot here. So you have to keep using the dials to keep dragging it over and set it. And then you're going to have to set the start and end point for every single position, because there's no like lazy chop mode. I know a few folks there's been some people showing how to do as close as you're going to get to lazy chops, which is basically you have to keep switching between recording and then changing the step you're on, and you're going to get gaps in what you're recording. So it's a real project, and I do hope that Teenage Engineering works on something for chopping, because I mean, if you get something that's I wouldn't bother doing this on something where I'm like, I don't like this sample, because as you can see, it is a lot of work to go through to take something and then get it in over here so you can kind of play with it and mess it with it. But now that we've done this, we can do like some fun stuff using like the punch-in effects, where we just kind of pitch stuff up, down, have it kind of flip the samples a little bit. I do believe that if you overuse it, it's going to have the same problem as the SP404 Mark II effects, where if you just use it all the time, everywhere, people are going to be like, yeah, that's just the OPXY sound. But I think like just judicious use of like at the end of a bar or just like a note or two to kind of drop something in, people are like, oh, that was cool. Like, what was that? So I definitely would say be careful with it. But I think you can do some really cool stuff to kind of flip some of the sounds. Yeah, I think like there's some of them where you just like pitch stuff up, is like some of these. Not that one. I'm playing. I keep hitting the ... This is my problem, is the Ableton Move has programmed my brain that the ... is your shift key. So I just keep looking at it from the side of my eye, and I'm like, oh, that's the shift key, instead of hitting the one that actually says shift that's right beside it. But I feel like, like this, where you're kind of pitching stuff up and down really quick. Actually, maybe this one's not pitching. Anyway, I feel like there's a few in here that you could probably do where you're just pitching it up or down. But like even like this one, depending on the context, where it's got that gated sound could be fine. I do wish some of these we could program in a little bit more, like the gate. Like you can do some really cool strides and transgates on the P-6 or the SP404 Mark II using like scatter and like the filter gate or the gate and stuff. But I don't know, we kind of got what we got right now. In general, I have found, so do I have it over here? Yeah, I got that right here. So the OPXY is, I mean, you can program it to work the way you want, but by and large, it really wants you to have 4 tracks of your kick, snare, percussion, and samples, is just kind of how it's laid out. And the OPXY just gives you 2 drum tracks. I usually actually on the M8 tend to work with the first 4 tracks being drum tracks similar to the OPXY here, because it's another one it's got 8 tracks. I feel like it gives you a lot more flexibility because then you can really control if you're muted, and that's also how I tend to work on the MPC as well, is like just have separate tracks or separate them out as much as you can, because then when you want to come in and do like your mute, like here right now, because I've got the kick and the snare coming on the first track. If I mute it, I'm muting the kick and the snare, which if I'm cool with that, it's cool, but it like kind of shifting like these over probably was what I should have done. So now it's like I have to kind of like interleave stuff. So I don't know, when you're playing, if you get an OPXY, like definitely think about what you want. What's explosion? So I guess I don't understand. Yeah, that's explosion. Oh, you mean like, sorry, like on the MPC, like you'd explode a track. Yeah. I don't think I haven't seen anything in the OPXY that lets you do a track explosion. Can't do it on here or here really either. Like you'd have to go copy and paste the stuff over. Yeah. So, there's like a lot of niceties on the MPC, but you also have like far more tracks to work with. So it's been like, okay, I've been trying to like kind of figure out how I want to apply some of these things, but yeah, definitely like I'm feeling far more comfortable on the OPXY. Yeah. Sorry, Kyle. Switching context between music devices. I was like, what? I was like, oh, do you mean I have something exploding on the OPXY? I just missed the MPC there. Which I do think like will tend to, if you're gonna work that way, it's gonna tend to drive people to making simpler tracks, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because like it's so easy in like Ableton Live and MPC and stuff to have like a million tracks and a million sounds going, whereas kind of paring it down isn't such a bad thing to do or think about. But yeah, let's see, what do we want to play around with now? Let's see what other exit out of here, see if there's any other sounds that might be fun. Let's see what else we got. Got nothing on this track. Another organ, kick, pianos, good guitar. The guitar will be a little bit hard just because of all the pluckiness there. There's a lot of the same notes too. Yeah, it's true. A lot of stuff's like, it can frequently just be like a loop or two. You can always also resample down if you need to. Some of it's easier to do than others. I kind of like both of these. Let's load it up and do our good old crop on it. Auto may have done enough. It's the only thing that I kind of wish was a bit more adjustable here. On the M8 was like where it grabs transients, because you at least have some options to do this on the MPC. I would do this on the MPC, but it's a lot bigger, and wasn't what I was playing around with over the weekend. So, hey, Kyle, well, go get some sleep. It's important. All right, I'm going to cheat on this. I'm not going to chop this any further. We'll just use what's there. And yeah, get some sleep. Have a good night, Kyle. Feel Always feel free to throw questions out there. Happy to do my best to answer stuff for folks. We are going to, I'm just going to go do this as a drum sampler again, because that's what I've been at least figuring out how I want to operate doing it. Get back here, record this bad boy in. The second one, hop over. Actually, let's just do the first one. I'll then just have to record it longer to get that second chord. Probably end it earlier. Here we go again. It's pitching everything up and down on me. That one might be fun just to sprinkle in or something, but see if we can get a tape catch. There we go. Just have something that's like a little bit more wild. Do this. I'll just record it 2 times so we can change the start and end points. All right. Back out and gotta get start and end points again, or at least start. Oh, actually, I think, did I record? No, I didn't. I'm gonna start in the middle. We'll fix that. When you get these longer samples, this is a real treat. It's just not going away. I don't know why we're getting that hard pop there. That's annoying. Maybe it's the end that is giving us the business. All right, let's turn these down to be all about the same level. All right, I guess that's like enough to work with at the moment. So we can do. I want that to land every time. Let's give that maybe every fourth note. I guess I didn't get it. Put on the wrong note. Hey G Brown, how you doing? I think I got like 10 more minutes in me here. What else are we up for? Any more tracks? Maybe we need more drums. Let's see what we got. Upper left, this is the Dirty Wave M8. It is a tracker, and I am currently using it as a incredibly overpriced sample and loop player. I wouldn't suggest getting one of these just to play samples. I mean, you could, but it's able to do way more. I would say it's got the it operates very similar to the OPXY, except that instead of having everything kind of laid out where you can see visually on like a timeline where things are, you get like this is your note view here. It might be a little hard to see on the screen, but basically each line is a 16th note. You can program in what the note is, the velocity, what instrument it uses, and then a bunch of effects, so you can have it like do really cool stuff. It definitely can do things. I mean, the XY and the Dirty Wave M8 can both do things that the other can't do, but they also kind of overlap a bit. You can see that you just got 8 buttons here, or 8 keys, and that is how you program everything. So this thing's, I don't know, it is amazing for what it is, but you gotta kind of want to learn how to use a tracker. I've done a few videos on it, and I've done more streams doing some like track breakdowns and things, but they're tough to get a hold of, and they are worth I think it's worth learning how to use. If I get more questions, I'll certainly post more stuff, but my brain has been kind of taken over by the OPXY right now, trying to figure out how to work with it and kind of get stuff done. So I spent the weekend using the M8 and the P-6 to then figure out how to record stuff in a somewhat repeatable way to just get chops onto the OPXY. Hey, yeah, the guide, if you haven't gotten the quick reference, I'd say go look for grab the quick reference as well. I don't have one in front of me right now, but little tiny, if you print it out, it's like this big, 16 pages. Tried to cram it full of SP404 Mark II shortcuts and just like little notes on things for how to work with it. So if you don't have the quick reference, definitely go get that. I mean, it's free as well. My sister's trying to convince me I should get the guide and the quick reference up on Amazon, but I'm like, I don't know. Do I want to put it up there? I think everybody's like got enough information with it. Grab it for free. I haven't like finished either of them 100%, so if I start charging, I'm like, for it, I'm like, now I feel like I gotta improve the quality of it to a point that maybe I don't feel like spending the time on, especially when I would be messing around with other instruments and things. But maybe somebody will bother me enough one of these days to be like, hey man, just go do this. wild. I think the problem is here. It's shifting the notes because they're chopped. So it's playing different notes, but it's not pitching them. Is that correct? Yeah. Because we don't have all the notes filled in, it doesn't know where to put them. Oh man, I didn't even think of doing this, man. Okay, because you've got this page where you can tell the brain what tracks to work on. So effectively, if you're, I'll explain what I was like messing around with here. I didn't realize. So we have this track. It's got the bass. This one's it's muted. It's not playing right now. So we got the bass, which is just drum kit chopped. We've got 5, which is the Rhodes sound, and then we've got 6 is the piano keys. So we've only got a handful of chops on here. And the brain, normally what it's doing is taking those, it takes MIDI notes and transposes them into other keys. And because these MIDI notes for the drum kits aren't actually MIDI notes, it's just a different sample. What's happening when I use the brain and pitch it is it's changing what notes are playing. And if there's nothing there in the slot, it's not playing. Man, this might like be a really good way to remix stuff. I mean, I do like this kind of stuff on the MPC from time to time, where I'll just like transpose like groups of notes up and down to get like different rhythms and things. But like, I have to really think about this. This is actually kind of cool because it'll preserve the rhythm, but it's changing the notes that are played. Hopefully, I'm making sense to you guys. Yeah, so I would say given that, maybe this is worth the effort for select tracks at least. The main problem here will be if I bring in, oops, not that one. If I bring in track 4, this actually is a MIDI instrument. If I unmute this, it's going to actually get the notes pitched up and down, and they're going to play wrong. So it's going to sound incorrect. Let's see. I am quite confident. So I bring this in. So we got this pad now going. We go back to the brain. Like it's changing the key that it's playing that in. I mean, maybe sometimes it'll be fine, but it's probably going to be in the wrong notes frequently. Which I guess if you're looking for something that's like dissonant, it might not be bad. I'm gonna have to think about doing this intentionally though. You can hear like some of those are like just the wrong note. But I guess if you just did it real quick, you could get some flips. Or, actually, you know what? The other thing is, we can go here, track 4. We just tell it that track 4 doesn't participate in this. It'll keep playing the same pads. And then, whoops, go here. Yeah, I understand not wanting it necessarily in your workflow. It is quite pricey, and as you can see, like it's kind of fiddly. There's not a whole lot of things I have found on the XY that I couldn't do on the MPC or possibly the OPZ with something else. Maybe the P-6. Because, like, honestly, the biggest gap on the OPZ is just you only have 64 megs roughly of sample time, and you can run out of that real quick. But I don't know. I've been liking the OPXY. I still, though, will grab the MPC when I want to do some serious stuff as I'm trying to kind of learn my way around this thing. Given that it is 2 stacks, not sure I'm going to bring the OPXY with me on trips or anything, but it could happen. Probably more likely to bring the M8 and maybe the P-6 just because they're so small and you can kind of re-hook them up together. But we'll see. I'm gonna have to think about some stuff here that I just figured out though, or accidentally stumbled into. Anyway, I've been going for an hour 20 and gotta go take care of some stuff. So everybody, as always, thank you for stopping by. Keep making music, keep having fun. Remember, if it sounds good, it is good. And peace. And maybe I'll be around later. I'm gonna try and keep streaming a little bit more. So maybe later in the day I'll hop on or do some different times tomorrow. But take it easy.